It's a lack of judgment for any generation because you just have what you have.
Yeah. I have no space for really ignorant people. However, what I will say is...
You are pretty low tolerant for ignorance.
I really am.
So, welcome to Pop Off
Hi.
News. October 16th. So I just watched The First Wives Club for the first time.
Just shocking.
Yes. Rest in peace, Diane Keaton.
I'm not emotionally over it.
So I love her from Because I Said So, the movie.
It's such a random movie. I like that movie.
I really like Mandy Moore.
Well,
and so
funny thing, because I know we talked about Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
Lauren Graham is in that movie. The other sister.
I didn't watch Gilmore Girls. So I didn't know anything about
yeah.
I watched it for Piper Peeraboo. That's the other sister. She was in Coyote Ugly.
Yeah.
I know all of the like smaller actors, like the niche kind of actresses. But yeah, so I love her in Because I Said So, because I'm all about like getting older and still being like cutesy, and like she gets her little boyfriend is Harvey Specter from Suits, the guy that Mandy Moore dates.
I was gonna talk about the guy that she dates.
Seventh Heaven.
Who, he's not a good guy.
Not a good guy, but also he was one of the spouses in The First Wives Club.
Yeah.
I was like, the pastor from Seventh Heaven? Yes.
Yeah. That was her husband in First Wives Club too. Wow, I never connected that dot.
Oh my god.
He was a sexual predator though. Yeah, he was convicted.
In real life, yeah, clearly. Oh shit.
Very problematic.
That makes me sad. So true to our theme
First Wives Club. Yeah.
Of watching one of us watching it for the first time and discussing it. And then The Family Stone.
That's my favorite Christmas movie.
I don't think of it as a Christmas movie, but it is a Christmas movie. I am a big believer that life is incredibly complicated. And so let's see it on film. And The Family Stone, and you have the one brother who wants to get high with the dad. And the mom is like, don't tell everyone. That's so like something that will really happen in someone's family. And then I believe when I first saw The Family Stone, I think I had to know that was Carrie Bradshaw. But that might be one of the only roles where I didn't see her as Carrie. I just was like, I didn't think Everett ever loved her. And so I couldn't understand why they were together. I was like, she's trying so hard and you guys just hate her. It broke my heart, but that's one of my favorites.
I love The Family Stone because it's incredibly raw, but it's also very real and very relatable and very complicated.
Yeah.
Very layered, very complicated. And I love that they did such a beautiful job. Every character has a very complex storyline.
Yeah, the casting was so good.
The casting was so incredibly good. And what twists and turns. Once again, rest in peace, Diane Keaton, because she's one of my favorite actresses of all time. Is that I've always been attracted, not sexually, but my spirit, to strong females in my regular life. But when it comes to like movies and arts, I always get attracted to strong female leads. And Diane Keaton was just such...
I know.
There's really no other word. Legend. Iconic.
I live under a rock. And so it's like 11 p.m. I'm like, oh my God, Diane Keaton died. And you're like, yeah, I've been seeing it all day. And I was like,
well, by that time, I watched First Wives Club, and then I watched The Family Stone right after that.
We were just looking at a list of all of her movies.
Oh, it's so long.
So we need to watch Scarface because we've never watched... No, The Godfather. We've never watched those, and she's in that. And then, I forgot this. In The Family Stone, that picture that they print of her pregnant, that's actually a real photo of Diane Keaton pregnant in real life with one of her children. So I think that's so beautiful. But she always plays this role where she is kind of like a wanted sex symbol, but she doesn't have to be overly flirtatious and sexy. Like Goldie Hawn's character, that was definitely that role in The First Wives Club. But she's still sneaking around having sex with her husband that the mom and the daughter hate. So she's sexual, but she's still like, I'm going to wear my pantsuits. Like that was her thing to be like, I'm going to wear whatever I want to wear. And I'm always going to have these parents or like familial relationships that have no boundaries. Because then Because I Said So, she hooks up the daughter. And she's so intrusive, but then she won't tell them anything. Like she just loves that like the mom is supposed to be like in all your mess. I think being an adult in the 90s was so stressful. When I was watching The First Wives Club, that was all I was thinking. I was like...
What do you think? Adults or specifically adult women?
I guess adult women. Yeah. But it's ironic because the movie was written by a man and directed by a man. But the women, I feel like hopefully they gave them notes to say like a woman wouldn't do or would do. And I had to look it up because I was on a deep dive since I'd never seen it. When it came out in 1996... the women were playing 49-year-olds and they were all 50 years old, which is a big deal. And then it grossed $181 million, and it was a $30 million budget to create. So it was by far a box office smash.
Yeah. Well, I think at that time, I mean, I don't know too many I mean, I was a child in the 90s.
Me too.
I still live by, I always talk about the 90s. I feel like it was the last great decade that we had before everything went to hell.
A film or a life?
In life. I think, because I think when you watch these movies, especially a First Wives Club, it really is a capsule of the time as well. In all aspects, whether it's like technology, relationships, communication, like
the interior design,
and literally the interior design, fashion. But like when I watch a movie like that, it's like the hurdles that women had to go through, unfortunately, still do. One could argue maybe similar to decades ago, since we're rolling back so much.
Yeah,
there was a simplicity still that existed before. I guess really the technology boom, the internet boom, really kind of just threw everyone out of whack.
Yeah. And I loved it because like, when Goldie Hawn shows up to the exes, to his office and into the apartment and is like, I want that, sell it, sell it. I was like, do we have things like that now? I mean, thinking about I was like, well, okay, if she was an actress and then he's a famous director, they would have those things. But I was like, what would I take and sell if I needed to do that? If I needed to open a First Wives Club, I'm looking around my house. I'm like, damn.
Probably not. I have nothing. I'm sure my iMac won't do much to get anything open.
Right.
So I feel like that's definitely like an echelon of like status, whether it's like however you have money. I'm sure you buy Picassos and all that kind of stuff and you could sell them. Especially when you think of the 90s, that really broke a mold in terms of seeing women in yet another layer and another light. But one thing I'll say too, in terms of Diane Keaton, especially when you talk about like how much it grossed, I think it really struck a chord in terms of I guess really in feminism in the women's movement. But like you had three strong women, very different backgrounds, who were scorned by their horrible ex-husbands. And they're like, oh, hell no. And they find all these ways to feel empowered and come together and use that to better help different communities of women who are going through something similar, that were basically like scorned by a guy.
Well, I mean, that's how it happened. It was just like, oh, this shitty thing happened, fend for yourself. Yeah. And they were like, no, we're going to create this center. First of all, they crawled so that women right now can run.
Absolutely.
Because even though life looks very different than 1996, women right now, if you choose to, have the most autonomy they've ever had to be pickers. You can choose to get married. You can choose not to. You can choose to be married and not have children. You can choose to have children and not. Yeah. We've never had that much freedom. Like you and I, we love the show Sex and the City. And there's that episode where Miranda is buying the apartment and they're like, your husband's giving the down payment, your dad, you're this. And even her realtor's like, I have a son. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because they're like, you're successful. Hey, can you come help this shitty man in my life or whoever that I know? So that movie had to exist because from there came like all of those books in the early 2000s of like Men Love Bitches and How to Be a Strong Woman and all of that, because like the men did see the women as desirable once they were like, they put their foot down and they were like, no, I'm doing this. I'm taking this back.
I don't know if you noticed this too. Wow. And I only noticed it the other day when I watched First Wives Club. Wow. Because I the type of person, when I watch a movie, especially one of my favorite movies, the more I watch it, the more, because I think when I further understand the plot and kind of the details of the movie, if you will, the more I understand it, the more I can look in the background and not have to stay too focused on what's going on. Gloria Steinem was at that party.
Talking to Balky.
I'm
like,
did
you ever watch Balky?
No, I know him. I know the actor.
That's where he was from.
I was like, oh, that's Gloria Steinem.
I noticed her yesterday.
That was the very first time I ever noticed that.
She doesn't do that a lot. She's not like a cameo
well, that's why I was like, I guess that validates one of the iconic leaders of the feminist movement, Gloria Steinem.
Well, because you said like women of very different backgrounds, but kinda. Right? Because full circle moment, they all went to the same college.
Yeah, that's true.
So it was like, bring it back to, we all did learn this in 69 when we were graduating. We all were like, yeah, we're going into the 70s. Let's do it. And then they all still ended up traditional because like our conditioning of what we see and what we know is so strong. Who's your favorite character?
In that movie?
Yeah. Between Goldie, Bette Midler, and
you know, I mean, I love them all, but I love Bette Midler.
Yeah.
I mean, I just love her in general. I mean, I could do a whole episode of just all Bette Midler movies. It was kind of funny, which is her signature. Like she has her core
appreciating.
Right. I'm like, I can relate to all that just personally.
Yeah.
her husband, Morty. But you know what? I think why I liked it too, it's you see them come back together at the end. And there was something like, I do love seeing a redemption arc, if you will.
Yeah. I loved her story because I love a good makeover movie. Mm-hmm. The Mirror Has Two Faces is my favorite, where Barbara Streisand gets fined and then she tells the guy she's always wanted, you're not good enough for me. And then it's Complicated, which is a lot newer, but that reminds me of Annie, where Meryl Streep is sneaking around and sleeping with her ex-husband. And now she's helping him cheat on his current wife. And so that's just like the complicated and messiness of life. I like stories like that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But my favorite was by far Goldie Hawn. In a friend group, you need the loud and outspoken Bette Midler. And then you need the person who's going to be the like mediator, who's Annie.
She was also, Goldie Hawn is so funny too.
She's really, really funny.
And those characters that she plays, she has her lane. And she does them
She does them really, really well.
Like A+ across the board. Like, she was so funny in that movie.
First of all, I love a good argument in a friend group. Because here's the thing with an argument. When you lie to your friends all the time, you will have a big blow up. And so I love to see it.
Ask any of my friends.
I'm like, you guys have been like tiptoeing around each other. It's going to come to a head. So I love that. I love that. I love to see Diane Keaton like pretend to be angry and upset. And you can tell she's just like, I have to be this shrewd type character, but then act like I'm mad. I love it. Goldie Hawn's apartment. And I was just like, what would it feel like to be that? First of all, she looks amazing to really have been 50 in real life, but also for your looks to make you that iconic. And you literally have pictures of yourself everywhere. And then that's going, and you can't even enjoy looking amazing because you didn't look like you used to. And I was just like, she just gave some humanity to being a celebrity. Which I'm sure that was what I was getting from the story. I was just like, is it hard to be famous?
Like, I love Goldie Hawn. And that is very much her of like, she really owned her power in all her roles. And it seems as if like that's how she lives her life as well. Like, I don't know if there's common law marriage in California, but I think they qualify at this point. But she doesn't live by like anyone else's rules but her own.
Yeah. I used to want that. I never wanted to get married. I just wanted to like, you commit to me, I commit to you, and we're just together forever. But it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to get the government involved in your relationship. Kind of rebellious, but then still like doing what you want. Yeah. I just think that like, it's weird because she doesn't make herself attractive. You don't make yourself look like what you want. I mean, you can do some things to like jazz it up. So I think even from it starting with her being at the doctor's office I was like, were people doing lip filler in the 90s? I was learning so
I love
much.
when she was going to the newsstand. She's like, hi, Mohammed. And that's how she finds out their friend dies. So
I know. Okay, so Rizzo out the window. First of all, I was like, why is she?
Horrific.
But I was like, you only got 4 minutes in the movie?
Talk about a lot of how famous people in, because when you see her ex-husband come out, that's Heather Locklear was the, I'm like, damn, there are so many famous people in this movie.
Why can't I think of Goldie's name and the character?
At least Elliot.
At least. When she is interviewing the guy to be in the movie.
Oh, he was the guy,
one
the
of Carrie's
20-something
boyfriends in Sex and the City. And I was just like...
I just love that. She's like, so how do you see her? And he's like,
grotesque.
You see her look on her face. She's like the real Monique's mother.
Well, okay.
I love when she gets drunk at the bar. I know. And she's like, do I look like a mother? She's like, well, not my mother, certainly. And then she starts crying, like, I don't know, Mother
when Bette Midler shows her husband, and the lady goes, she's butch. Because she thought Morty was like a woman. Oh. She's like, yeah. And I was like, well, they are at the gay bar. So the fact that like the daughter gets to come out to the dad right at the end. I know.
Well, also, like, if you think of the 90s, like a woman coming out. Like,
I know.
But look at how much of a thing it was.
It was a huge thing.
She's like, and daddy, I'm a lesbian. In his face.
It was a good movie. It was very, very different. 1996. I was 12.
I was 6 years old.
So yeah, I wasn't.
You were gonna say something about Sarah Jessica Parker as a villain.
Oh, to see her as a villain was interesting. I really liked the scene where they were in the apartment. They were trying to sneak out, and then they have to get on like the window washer thing. But it was so fascinating to see her in that role, and I was like, it made me wonder what her like casting tape was like for Sex and the City. Because
Sarah Jessica Parker,
yeah.
There's a whole story behind that I'm forgetting right now. She does talk about that.
Oh my God. And Sarah Jessica Parker was in The Family Stone. So she and Diane Keaton came back to do another movie that we know of.
By Sarah Jessica Parker's post on Instagram. she talks about, like, I got to work with her twice. Because her character never interacted with Diane Keaton's character in the First Wives Club.
Yeah.
I have to imagine.
Yeah, at the auction. Yeah.
Maybe, like, behind the scenes, like, she got to meet her. I'm assuming. So seeing her in the Family Stone, I have to imagine.
Yeah.
Was a very cool moment for her.
Yeah.
And obviously, and then playing directly, like, having a very intimate role with Diane Keaton. Well, with everybody, really, but with Diane Keaton, who I just...
Which is so fascinating, because when I imagine you filming a movie, I know this is not how it is, but what I imagine is, like, everybody is at a table read together and you all know each other and all this stuff. It doesn't have to be one long scene of them doing it with the paddles and her in the back. When would they have crossed, right? And so, but I'm just picturing, like, no, they were all in that room together. Girl,
that was actually funny. See, I forgot who it was, and they were trying to get the one guy to raise his pout.
The older lady and Balky. I love it.
Maggie Smith. Oh, rest in peace.
I just discovered her, not just, but when I watched Downton Abbey, and then I went back and watched all of her stuff. No, I still haven't finished them.
Well, the first one you've seen.
I saw
Professor
the first one.
McGonagall.
I guess that was her.
Yeah, it was her. That's Professor McGonagall. You really look at her roles, and she really played a very strategic role. I mean, I don't know this to be
Annie Hall.
Yeah, like when you kind of look at her whole filmography of roles, I mean, she really was a catalyst to a lot of, I think, female visibility and in a different sense of, like, traditional values. Baby Boom. I love 80s movies. Baby Boom is one of my favorite movies with her. I literally remember discovering it for the first time on, I think it was like HBO Max. And I was like, is that Diane Keaton? I'm like, I have to, yes, absolutely. And I have watched it maybe 100 times since. Also, a woman in the 80s, she was like, a executive, or she had a very high-ranking role.
Yeah.
She had a boyfriend or whatever that was duller than, wet paint. But, it seemed to work with her lifestyle. How she's very high-strung, like, business executive type of personality. And then, lo and behold, a distant relative has a baby, and I think they passed, and now it's yours. And watching her go through that whole process of, like, trying to figure out her life, but what you're watching is her become a little softer and big character evolution, and she buys her house in the countryside. I'm like, I love this.
So I love how you said she was very strategic in choosing the roles, because I don't think she was typecast. I think she wanted to play those roles.
I think she knew what she wanted, yeah.
I think she wanted to be like, the looks are deceiving and you're not always getting what you see, and I can surprise you. I think she really was intentional in those kind of roles. I mean, her impact is massive.
And we think about it too, and then I'm trying to be careful with my words because I want to be thoughtful and correct when I say this. When you also look at a lot of her roles that were very, like, motherly figures, without being a traditional mother.
Yeah.
Something's Gotta Give is one of my favorite movies of all time. If I see that on any streaming, I'm watching it. I'm clocked in and I'm ready to watch it. She was a strong mother, Because I Said So. Hanging Up, she wasn't a mother, but it was that sister. I don't know if you ever seen that. It has Meg Ryan and Lisa Kudrow. It is so silly.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But she plays their three sisters, and their dad is dying, and I'm blanking on who it was. Oh, the guy from like Angry Old Men or Grumpy Old Men.
Tim Allen?
No. Oh my God. No, because
oh my God, from Dennis the Menace.
Dennis the Menace, thank you. I was naming all those other, I'm like, not Leave It to Beaver. He's like dying. And all the sisters are trying to take care of him, but Meg Ryan really is the one. I love Meg Ryan. But Diane Keaton played a strong. She was like an Oprah. She had like a whole, like, women's conference and all this kind of, like, she had her own magazine.
Oh wow!
Again, strong female,
ahead of her time.
Exactly. It's so, like, she definitely had a type, and that's why I just. God, I just love her so much.
Which is so Book fascinating.
Club. I love Book Club.
I mean, she's been acting forever. And so I love that too, where it's not like you have to hang it up eventually or you have to be done. You can always keep reinventing yourself.
So she won the Oscar, I know that, for Annie Hall, but she was nominated 4 other times. For Reds, I never seen that. Marvin's Room, and then she was nominated for Something's Gotta Give.
Okay.
Oh, and she was, I don't know what American Comedy Award is, but they were nominated. First Wives Club and
It was good. It was good. A lot of times when I watch situation comedies, I get that cringe factor. But I was watching it and they were so like sincerely enjoying it. Mm-hmm. I think the directing and the filming and all of it was so good. It was good. It was kind of like a little time capsule. It was like if I got to come along with them and be married in the 90s, that's what it would have been like. And you could have chosen to be any of those kind of moms, right? The quirky mom who I imagine Brenda was probably in like Brooklyn or somewhere. And then you get Annie and her mom's coming over all the time. You got the adult daughter. And then you have Goldie and she's in her own role. And so very, very different lives, still in New York. It was fascinating.
She was in Look Who's Talking Now. Oh, she was the voice of the dog.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
My God, my mind is blown.
So there was a musical Big Death that happened. D'Angelo, a really big singer. I remember all of his stuff. I mean, he was really, really popular in the late 90s, early 2000s too, but died at 51 from pancreatic cancer.
Fuck cancer,
and
man.
Yeah, and so I was listening to all his music yesterday, thinking about it, and I was like, man, that sucks. But I'm going to sleep, and I was just like, death is so stupid. Like, what is the point besides to just make you be like, well, damn, I want to make sure my life is big and I have an impact like the people we're about to talk about. Because I'm like, what is, your body's just tired? Like, I just,
That's
sucks.
One of the things, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's some that die unexpectedly, like through some sort of accident.
I know. And it's just like, for me, and I was like, all it does is it just makes me be like, how can I like kick a hole in the side of the world tomorrow? Like, it just makes me really want to be like, let me live out every single moment.
Because I think about that too.
Yeah.
And maybe this is when my like depression really kicks in and I get my pessimism state of mind back.
Yeah.
Because I was talking about this on my own podcast of like how by default I've turned kind of into an optimist. I think by nature I'm like, okay, prepare for the worst. Who's mad at me? Because someone obviously like I think the worst in most situations, or I prepare for the worst. Like the battery in my car's dying and I'm putting off, and I'm like, or you could just do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With that being said, there's a part of me that what you just said of like, you know, basically in essence, like living life to the fullest, every day being present. I often feel like, again, this is where my pessimism kicks in, that sometimes only kind of works if everyone's willing else to do that too.
I think it is.
Do you know what I mean? Or not maybe fully, because obviously you don't control yourself, because we're also consumed with ourselves and, you know, what we're doing, what we have going on. Like I was talking to someone, it was lighthearted, but kind of not, because when I'm in a state of mind, I tend to be deep about everything. And they wanted me to hold it accountable for something. And I was like, listen, I'm just trying to take care of myself right now. And I can barely do that. So they're like, well, you can still like be there for your friends. And I'm like, fuck, you're right. But like, there is a way of like, when you're having trouble with your own state of mind, how am I supposed to take care of myself and somebody else at the same time? You know what I mean? Because I am still empowered to do the things that make me happy, or try to, right? But if everyone else is so like busy, and that's like strangers at the grocery store to, you know, the guy selling you a book at the bookstore, if that makes you happy. Like,
no, it's
you know
true.
What I mean?
That's how I think about money.
Yeah,
because money is only a thing because we've all decided.
Because we all made it a thing.
And I'm just like, but then it also, similar to death, you can't think about it too much because it just doesn't make sense.
And it's just not going to pop up anywhere.
How could you get a job and make $200,000 and my house be worth $200,000? How do those two things make sense? So you don't spend any money for a year and you just pay off your house? It doesn't make sense.
I agree with you.
It doesn't make sense.
And I used to talk to you about this a lot. A question I still continue to raise. Even right now, when we're experiencing high inflation, the job market is horrible. We're losing jobs. Those are just facts from the current administration.
The government is shut down.
Government is shut down, and you have federal employees on top of all that being let go, right? So a lot of people need a job.
Veteran benefits not going through, special education.
It's bad.
It's bad.
And yet, I'm still seeing people taking several vacations. This person's bought a new car. This and that, and I'm just sitting here going, okay.
I know.
And I was asking these questions 5 years ago.
I know. You're like, how are they doing it?
Like,
what am I missing?
I really am. I've been working since I was 14. I work 2 jobs. I'm working from sun up to sundown. And I don't have like, my biggest expense is my home, my apartment. That's like, you know what I mean? And I'm still asking these questions now. I feel like they're even more like, how I want to be like a bitch and like DM some of these people. I'm like, not to be a horrible person, and it's not my business. How are you affording this?
Maybe it's absolute delusion because I just
but
posted a video.
Millions of people, though?
No, that's true. I posted a video yesterday of a vacation from 2 years ago because I was like, today is dark.
Or when people post
their
tickets,
like,
just book, can't wait. And I'm just like, okay, let's just talk about this. Because I know a lot of people, when I have the conversation, they're like, oh my God, it's so expensive to like travel, because that costs maybe anywhere from like what, $600 to $1,000 for the plane ticket.
Maybe somebody else bought the ticket for him.
That does not happen with millions of people, and I don't know where they get their money from. And I understand, okay, airline miles, all this kind of stuff, blah blah blah. Okay, whatever. Hotel rooms ain't cheap anywhere. And the people that I'm seeing, no offense, they're staying at Motel 6.
And once you get there, you still have to eat,
buy things. You're doing things.
I know, because I'm literally driving over here, and I'm like, stuff is dark, and I'm going to record a podcast.
How?
And I was literally putting on lipstick, like none of this matters, but I still have to do my next best step. And I just can't think about it too much. And it's
the only change I'd make in that statement, at least for me. This is the thing that does matter, because I'm like, you know what? The 9-to-5 job, we're seeing it. A lot of people feeling this way. And I think unless you like it and you feel purpose in that, I think that's what it comes down to, is purpose, right?
Yeah.
Where do you feel like you find purpose? And that can be at a normal desk 9-to-5 job, if that's your thing, if you're inspiring people and all that, whatever the thing is that's giving you purpose. Because here's what, we also need all those people to do all these jobs.
We do.
That's how the world, continues to function. But I think when it comes down to, it's like, well, for me at least, putting my voice out into the universe, that's where I find purpose, whether it's 1, 10, 20, or 150 people listening to this, if not more. Like, that gives me purpose. I'm like, that is where the real, for me, work is, because at least that's opening a door of opportunity to maybe help somebody in their day that's having something happening similar to what we're talking about, or maybe they just hear that one sentence that we say and they're motivated to look at their situation a little differently.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not hard. Like, I don't want to be positive right now, but I know I have to be, because if I'm not, then what's the point of just...
What's the point?
Yeah.
One quote that I have, and it pushes me through the day. I still am not sure if I'm an optimist or a pessimist. I think I'm mostly just...
somewhere in the middle.
I'm a survivor. Yes. But there's this quote where it says, you don't go to work for purpose. You go to work to provide a service, and your purpose is what you do later. Now that makes all good sense if you're rich, because I don't want to go to a job that I don't feel impactful at and purposeful at. But I will take a job to provide service as an admin assistant, to put all that money into my passion, which is running a business or doing podcasts or doing whatever. So that split, having that dichotomy of I'm just providing service to earn money and then I get to do what I want outside is hard, though. It's very, very hard. So
we've created this problem. When you really think about it.
And specifically us in America. You can move to Europe and life is very different. You can move to South Africa.
Oftentimes when I'm talking about like these homemade problems that we've done I don't talk about the people that got their shit together.
Shit, even Canada is different. Yeah. It's very, very specifically American. Yeah.
Capitalism, capitalistic society.
Work hustle.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I know it's controversial to some extent. And if you have any conversation with me, I can always bring it back to politics.
Life is political.
That is true.
Reading is political.
But you know what? Our founding fathers of the United States of America, while not perfect and they have problems of their own, this is not what they envisioned for America. And that is why.
As in you, Torres, and me, Denano, even sitting at this table.
Oh yeah,
not working a manual job, doing yard labor. Yeah, and they could have never imagined.
They could have never imagined, but what they could have is we're doing what they set to do, our First Amendment right, and that is what they envisioned. And I didn't know any of them personally, and I'm sure there was problems with race and all that kind of stuff. We know that there were. So that aside.
They didn't envision it. There's no way.
They didn't.
But it goes back to even how this whole thing started. I probably have never seen The First Wives Club, because if my parents weren't watching it, where would I have seen it?
That's a really good point.
Where would I have been like, I think I'll go sit down and watch that. Yeah. So you do learn from the people that are around you. Yeah. And if the people that are around you have these warped and absolutely wild thoughts. There's one other piece that I have for media news, and I wish I still had it. Do you remember Delia's? The store.
I worked there.
I used to have a Yo MTV Rap shirt, And sadly, I sold it or I gave it away to a thrift store. I should have turned it into a t-shirt blanket.
Shutting down. Yeah,
MTV Music Channel. Now, I couldn't tell you where you would watch it because we have YouTube TV and we don't get the MTV Music Channel.
MTV as a network is not shutting down.
No, but their music channel was shutting down. And I remember I used to wake up and watch. I did too. I used to watch the morning jams where they would just play commercial free. Well, commercials just weren't as good.
I remember that. Music videos all day. Yeah.
3 hours of music and you would literally put it on.
Wow. That makes me really sad thinking about that.
Well, I've been keep mentioning Balky. That show was from like 91. Mm-hmm. Like I actually do have a pretty deep media knowledge.
I mean, it's definitely interesting.
Because you were talking about things changing, and I was like, yeah, I didn't even have a cell phone until I was in college. And then now they weren't even the supercomputers in your pocket that they are now.
My algorithms are very, like, I watched several this morning. It plays this music that touches the nerve in your body.
Seal, Kissed by a Rose.
No. It's like just a
some random song. Yeah.
It's not even like it has no word. It's like a.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. One, like, do you remember this in the classroom? And it shows you all and this is why I say, like, I feel like the 90s were the last good decade that we had where we could still talk to each other and find common ground most of the time, not all the time. But there was still civility, let's put it that way, to some extent. There was still civility and the willingness to try to find a workaround. Politics have always been disgusting and messy. We already knew that. But now it's like, we'll take any of that. When you have me saying, man, George W. Bush would be a great president right now, you know shit's fucked up.
But I think that even back in the 90s, even our parents were optimistic and they had a different kind of hope. Well, because my mom will ask me about stuff and I'm like, where did you saw that on Facebook, Mom? So even the older people are being misled and gaslit. And so I think that is hitting us to where we're all just like,
well, because that's crazy. I don't know statistics, facts, anything like that in terms of like what the demographic is that they're trying to catch people into. I have to imagine when you get to a certain age, you know, elder people almost become that much more vulnerable in a different way again, where they're almost like, I would like to understand the science behind that because I'm someone brought up to respect your elders. They have lived a whole life, right? They've lived for so long and they have all this wealth of knowledge and wisdom. But also, in a lot of regards, not every, but some older people are also very vulnerable to, like, when I used to work at a very popular tech company that makes very expensive computers and phones that we use on a daily basis, there was like a scam that we had to get trained on where they were baiting old people for gift cards.
I think, because I'm doing it with my daughter now, older people were not taught to use their imagination and they truly believe everything they see. So if they see it on, of course it's where I saw it on my phone. Are you kidding me?
Do you think?
So I want to win a Grammy, and I'll put the picture up. I just went to an awards banquet, and I replaced it with a Grammy. If I showed that to my mom, did I win a Grammy, and I just didn't invite you? They truly believe what they see. They don't believe in like imagination, and I think that's why when they see stuff, they really are like, "No, it had to be real. I saw it," and it's just like, "What are you talking about?"
Or you also experience the opposite with a certain fragment on the right that it's all fake news unless it comes from that one person, not even source.
But that's their conditioning of, well, my parents only watch Fox, so I only watch or whatever channel. Like my mom makes this joke because my dad's been passed almost 4 years, and so when she misses him, she's like, anything that was on CBS your dad watched. I don't care if it was Blue Bloods. I don't care if it was The Price is Right. I don't care. And I was like, oh. For the last 15 years, I've watched The Price is Right. I don't care. I thought it was because I liked Bob Barker, but he's not even the host anymore. Yeah. So I'm like, I probably got that from him. And his mom probably watched only that channel. But you know what? My dad was born in 1945. When they got a TV, they probably only had that channel. Yeah. Like, it doesn't make it right. They just never really challenged the stuff they did. And that was just all they did.
You talk about imagination. They were never really taught or maybe encouraged to have much of one. At least I'm not gonna, obviously not speaking for everyone, but I think a large population of older people and older generations where it's that whole like, okay, you go to school, men will go to college, women
or war,
women, you know, might serve as nurses, teachers, go to secretary school or be a stay-at-home mom. a lot of those, and then of course they made some headway there, right?
But you were an exception if you were the executive,
or
if you had the big job, if you were a Diane Keaton of the world,
right? Yeah, and that was only till like what 70s, maybe, and definitely probably like the 80s. Even then, you were still kind of a unicorn.
Yep.
Combined with conditioning of like having very limited like sources of facts, news, kind of thing. But now it's interesting because it almost seems like maybe there's some sort of an identity crisis because now you have all these elements. Now you have multiple ways to get information. And it's like, well, they were taught to trust the facts, the news, when you think of all the iconic like news anchors of the time, right? Now they're all fake news or not legitimate.
Or being aged out.
Yeah. Or aged out. And it's almost like there's maybe like an identity crisis of like, who do they actually believe? So and they're tapping into, I always think it always comes down to tapping into some sort of insecurity or blind spot in people. Because now they only believe, the grand supreme of it all.
They do. And they pick and choose. My mom will tell me that she used ChatGPT to make a meal plan. She'll be like, hey, I have these 7 ingredients, make me something to eat. And then she'll also be like, hey, I just tried to call someone, it won't go through. And I was like, you block them. She's like, no, I can call, but I can't get their stuff. There's a big button that says unblock, meaning you block them. And so you're just like, how can you use that? It's like they pick and choose. Yeah. You just said it.
Yeah.
I'll be knowledgeable about computers, but I won't do it on a phone. And I'm like, your phone is a computer. And it is.
Like maybe there's too many options.
It's bananas. There are a lot of options, but also you and I, you're going to be 35. I'm 41. The things that we want to use and consume now don't have to be the things that my mom at 79 wants to use and consume. But that doesn't mean that hers are bad or that ours are better. And it also doesn't mean that your child at 5 should not know how to type when I learned how to type in high school.
Yeah.
So it's like people are afraid of stuff they don't know, but then also you won't let people just have what they have at their generation. My mom will tell you, she's like, I wish I could have parked y'all in front of TV. We couldn't. There wasn't. So yes, y'all were outside. Point, yeah. And so it's like, it's a lack of judgment for any generation because you just have what you have.
Yeah. I have no space for really ignorant people. However, what I will say is...
You are pretty low tolerant for ignorance.
I really am. Like, I have to imagine, like, I understand, like, things escalate and grow and progress. The things that I've learned about those time periods, it looks like night and day. Like I said,
this is a different planet.
To your point, you just said, I have a whole computer in my hand. It's not some big gateway computer like I had in the 90s where it was like, it felt like 50 pounds and you had to go to the store just to get one. Now
I have typewriters at my house. My parents legit. First of all, my mom used the typewriter, but my dad didn't learn how until well an adult. Yeah. So, I mean, the world is literally different to them. And I always wonder, like, when they get ready to go to sleep, is that why they think back to the glory days? Oh, remember in the 70s, I didn't know how to type. I didn't have to know how to type. Or this, like, we all want to be comfortable. And so they just go back to where they were comfortable. But
you're just dropping a lot of light bulbs in my head today. I think you just answered a part of a thought that I had trying to like understand like different generations of folks when it was simpler. And I don't think many people are saying, well, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
It's just simply meaning this is what life was. And there were no like too many options and too many,
opportunities and choices.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is
it's
sad,
uncomfortable to read a book and realize your thoughts are wrong.
Right,
exactly. That is first of all,
and we can all relate to that feeling, I think.
Find a library. It's uncomfortable to download a book. It's uncomfortable to do something you don't want to do. And it's your life to take it back. And some days are dark and some days are like pointless. And what's the point? And all the good people are dying. I don't want to be uncomfortable today. Yeah. So I'm going to sit here in my old language, on my old things, watching my shitty TV, feeling the way I used to feel because that is comfort, whether it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
And so hopefully you're listening to this and you're just like, shit, comfort can be good, but also don't use it as an excuse not to
or crush or to be closed-minded.
Because your mind will change and then you can get comfortable in the new thing. But don't.
And I'm sure, like, again, it's so easy for someone like me who can sit here and say, I have no tolerance for bigotry, racism, homophobia, transphobia. Like, I really come and here's the thing. I was taught this from my parents.
I know.
It was all kindness, love, respect. My dad was a mean looking at old school Italian kind of guy, but also was the nice that like he did so much for people. My mom the same way. She's a badass. So I was taught that. So that was the 90s.
Yeah.
And I don't know where they got that from. I think it all stems from, what we all learn, of course. But what sticks out to me, a little bit of what you just said, of like, it's okay to feel comfort as long as you don't close your mind. Because we all have gone through very uncomfortable moments, and we're definitely in that right now, times 10, of like, America, girl, you are in an identity crisis right now. And people just need to stop staring at the phones and start believing, I think, each other and not pixels on a screen.
It's true. And to tie it in, what are you watching lately? What have you been watching?
Same shit I always do.
What?
All Housewives, all day, every day.
So I just watched AKA Mr. Chow.
I have no idea what that is.
So Mr. Chow is
I know the
restaurant.
Yeah.
And so I've been seeing it on HBO, and I was like, what is this? I don't understand. AKA Mr. Chow, also known as. He was an actor for years.
His daughter was on a reality show on E! I think, too.
He was an actor. It's a documentary of him telling his life.
Where is it?
On HBO right now.
Okay.
But you start off with him painting. He's a painter. He still owns the restaurants and gets the stake and all of it in him. Stake as in like the money from them. He's a full-time artist. He's always wanted to be an artist. His sister was an actress, so that's why he got into art. Then he wanted to become wealthy, and he was like, I only have 2 options, so I'll do restaurants. Hired the best, made a name for himself, these huge restaurants everywhere. But now, at 78 years old, he's a painter, and he is showing you sketches from Andy Warhol, sketches from all of these artists that used to come to the restaurant. And you're just like, fascinating. I literally got done watching it and I was like, I hold this inspiration with care, because you're watching him and he has literally lived 27 lives and you're watching him go through them all.
Yeah.
And I was like, to think you only know him as Mr. Chow and he has done all these things.
It's the same thing that I always say, like, we all have a story.
Fascinating. And so to that, like, he talks about how he had to change and grow and do all these different things and just tell himself that, like, I'm giving myself permission to do what I want.
Yeah.
And he has done that. You should watch it. It's very,
I think I will.
Good.
That's so interesting.
It's very, very good.
I love a documentary. So.
Oh my gosh. And for the person to be telling it, it's one thing if they write a book or somebody writes a biography about them, but like for you to be telling it, oof.
Yeah.
I was like,
have to check that out.
As soon as I got done watching it, I almost watched it again.
Yeah.
It's very
like one
good.
of those. I love that.
The Ralph Lauren one is really good too.
I saw that pass by my little ticker. I would say I'm not watching them yet, so what I want to is there was a John Candy documentary that I heard is really good. I do want to watch On Brand, which is
the new show.
Yep, with Jimmy Fallon and Bosma St. John from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
We should watch it.
I've seen clips. I did a whole thing with like Southwest Airlines. I'm like, well, this actually looks really good. So I do want to watch that just because. I love my girl.
We will. Yeah, and then you guys will have to pick up one of our other episodes where we do a review of one of the shows. Yes.
So
this was great.
This was great. Can we end it on something different?
Of course. Yes, please.
Okay, I would love to. So I love a quote.
Okay.
And I would think this will tie into the journey that we've been on today, from Diane Keaton to death to American politics,
to being comfortable,
to Mr. Chow. That I think there is a theme here of like looking forward and just self-empowerment.
Yeah.
So I will end it with, in remembrance of the great legend Diane Keaton, a quote that I found from her that I think is quite lovely. And I think it's a sentiment of what we try to express every week. And that she says, don't give up on yourself. So make a mistake here and there. You do too much or you do too little. Just have fun and smile.
Aww.
I think that was Diane Keaton.
I love that.
So have fun and smile.
I know. Rest in peace, Diane Keaton.
Love you, Diane.
Rest in peace, D'Angelo. And thanks for listening, you guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye. We're starting.
Yes. All right, let's start. Okay.
You always start. That's why I always wait for your lead.
That candle smells so good.